Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're listening. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are back with another football heritage, and this time got a very, very astute, successful businessman, Claudio ROS midfielder, pride of Harrogate. We've got Josh Dorwood, Arsenal fan and entrepreneur. How are you, Josh?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you very much for coming on.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I can see it on your face, mate. You radiate. You are radiant. You cannot
What
wait to
better
get
to do on
started.
a Friday night, eh?
Oh yeah, there's nothing, is there? There's nothing better to do. Um, so obviously Arsenal, big
Yeah.
Arsenal fan. But where, if we just take it back, like from what earliest memories,
hmm
tell me, was it in the garden? Was it a match on the TV? Was it a gift you got, or what? Like what can you remember? If I asked the first sort of football related thing in your life that you feel like you experienced, what would you say it was?
It was probably my parents giving me I think it was the 2002-3 shirt with Thierry on the back. That was probably my earliest memory that I actually remember. And
And did you
then,
did you win the league that year?
it's terrible. And I don't think we did.
I don't know if you did actually, because you went
No.
invincible the next year, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think that's my first memory of it. I still have that shirt. The lettering's all peeled off and everything now, but it's one to treasure.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
absolutely horrible when that happens, when you
yeah, I
get
know.
like a decent shirt and you obviously
Obviously,
want
it
to
must
wear
have
it.
at the time. Obviously, didn't even consider it. I just went out and ran around and played at it and whatnot. And now I look at it, I'm like, what an absolute idiot! It's
Who
crumbled,
was
fallen to pieces.
who was the sponsor? Was it O2?
Yeah, it was O2. Yeah, it's an absolute
And
premium shirt. That.
do you miss Nike?
No, I don't actually. To be fair,
You
the
don't?
early Nike I miss, but Nike in this modern era is nowhere near Adidas level.
That's very true.
Yeah,
Um, all right, so fair enough. So you're straight off the bat with the Arsenal stuff and the Arsenal shirt.
yeah.
So what about yourself? Did you play it on a weekend? Did you just play it at school? How sort of involved in it were you at an early age?
I played football from probably when I was age of 6 or 7. Sunday league. Obviously, start like 7 aside or whatever when you're that age, and then
Yeah.
onwards and upwards. And I played it all the way until the end of uni, basically. And since
Don't
then,
I
I've
know
just
it?
played a little bit of six aside every now and again, but just
Who
don't
did you
really
play?
have
Who
the
did you play
passion
for in
for it.
Harrogate?
Played for Harrogate Railway when I was up until probably about 14, and then I played for a little village called Beckwithshaw, and that was with a lot of my mates that I met through high school. So that was
Did
like
you play
years.
for Beckwithshire Rhinos?
Yeah, that was I played for every 3 iteration of the Beckwithshaw teams basically. Played for the Rhinos, the Bulls, and the Seagulls. And then
That's
I
mad.
did
That.
I did a one season. I did an R9 move. I jumped ship and went to the direct rivals and went to Panel Sports for a season.
Mm,
I felt rebellious, so I played for them for a year. And then I
very
thought, no,
nice.
this isn't me. I'm going back to my roots.
Yeah, going back home.
Yeah,
That's crazy because because I played for Yorkshire Amateurs for a few seasons, and I think
yeah,
we drew Beckwithshire a few times in a few
mm,
like of the county cups and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So we might have graced the same hallowed turf,
Yeah,
the
we might
same.
have done, in fairness, because we were often we did play mainly in like the Leeds League and everything back then.
I
So,
yeah, I
which was
just remember it. Yeah,
rough for us posh Harrogate boys
you
driving
said
over
it.
to Leeds on a Sunday.
I mean, I just remember thinking like whenever we got Beckwithshire, what a drive! Like it take like 40
I know,
minutes to
yeah,
get
it's
there, and I bet it was the
terrible.
same for you every week when you were
Yeah, yeah,
away.
literally. And most of like the mums and stuff that used to take us used to absolutely. One of my best mates, his mum absolutely despises like country roads and everything. And there's just no way in hell that you get to any of these
No,
Leeds grounds without taking country roads. So every Sunday it was an absolute drama getting to and from football. Like
it's
even
what you live
without the
for.
football being talked about, it was already high stress, which made it brilliant for us.
Did you play centre mid like you did at uni?
Yeah, I did. That's pretty much where I played one season at left back when I went to the A team.
Yeah,
Simply wasn't good enough to beat the lot in the midfield there because most of
right.
them went off to America and got scholarships, so that's the kind of level that they were at. So I got
Decent.
demoted to left back, but it was pretty easy in that team because nobody really could beat us then.
Nice.
So it made me look good. The
Nice, man.
modern day Kieran Tierney, basically straight down the line, and that's it.
Well, it's all about the medals and the money. You
It
know that
is,
more
yeah.
than
It
you know that
is.
more than anyone.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, then, so you've been playing a lot. First pair of boots. Care to remember what they were?
I can't remember the date of them, but it was Thierry Henry's golden Reeboks. They were, looking back at it, they were absolutely grim.
I'm gonna have to
They were
Google
like
that.
a bronze gold color, and they were like puffy leather. It was. I remember the feeling of them. It was really nice to like ball strike with. They were
Oh
like the
my god,
golden bronze one. You got a picture there?
I think so.
Yeah.
Were they the ones that had like the red?
Yeah. They've got red crossing all over it.
Wow. I'm
Obviously,
I'm gonna
I was like Henri obsessed at this point. So like everything that he had, I had to have.
I'm gonna say now I've done, I don't know, let's say I've done 6 of these.
Yeah.
That is even though it is Henri, that is the roguest choice of football boots that I've had.
I know. Yeah,
Eh,
I don't think I was plugged into like, oh, it needs to be like triple leather, blacked out Nikes or something. Like most people probably go for like Sambas or something along those lines. I was there like,
Everyone,
nope, I want gold and bronze Reeboks.
I bet they weren't that easy to come by either.
No, they weren't. I remember I couldn't get them. I literally remember going to Sports Direct and I was devastated because obviously they didn't have them. And I was like,
What was it?
well,
Just
what's
Predators
this
and
then?
Total 90s.
Yeah, it was just
Just
like the
that, yeah.
standard range. I was just like, well, this isn't what I want. So I had to like search. I had to like search online and get them from like Intersport or something, which is more of like a niche sports shop back in the day. But yeah, they were my first proper pair that I remember getting.
It's just, it's crazy now looking back, isn't it? Because I don't know about you, but I look at all the boots now, I think they're all crap.
Yeah,
I think they're all absolutely crap. No iconic moments in
no,
any of
no.
them.
It's because they just
Yeah,
churn them out every 2 minutes. That's why.
yeah,
And
yeah,
obviously the
like
players are just like, yeah, I'll wear these ones today. They have no reason to stick with a single pair like they used to.
I think the only time you see them stick to a pair is in a 3-week tournament.
Yeah, when they have
That's it,
no
innit?
option really. Yeah,
Apart from that, like what month we've just gone into September now. What, 6 games? I reckon, even though he hasn't been playing that much, Ronaldo's probably donned about 3 different pairs already
yeah. He
this
probably
season.
changes them at half time. To be honest,
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me at all. Which is a shame because that's a thing that obviously we all remember from when we were younger. Is what we
mm,
looked at was like shirt number and then the boot color, basically.
yeah,
The
man.
club, the shirt number, the boot color, and that's what you went off, basically.
Yeah. So obviously Harrogate, local team, not very good team. But then there
No.
is, Leeds, etc., etc.
Yeah,
Why did you end up supporting Arsenal? Do your mum and dad support
yeah.
Arsenal, or
Literally family. Literally, the only reason was family. I don't have a hatred towards Arsenal. There have been moments where it's been not towards Arsenal, towards Leeds. Sorry. To
that's absolute rubbish, mate.
there
That
have
is
there
absolute
have been
rubbish.
moments where
That's
it's gone up
absolute
and down in levels.
rubbish. I was saving this for later on, but I did a bit of searching and I found
Okay.
a tweet that you did where
Oh no.
It's Ronaldo hugging Nani after Portugal win the Euros after Bielsa gets sacked, and you just in block capitals, the myth is over, and Ronaldo going like that.
Sensational.
But you know what? Quite rightly so, because he
Yeah.
he was well past his sell by date.
Obviously, a lot of
Um,
these things, I'm in group chats with like numerous mates
oh
from
yeah,
back home, and they're all Leeds fans. So obviously,
yeah,
whenever it's Arsenal Leeds or whenever anything happened, like when Bielsa got sacked last season, obviously that group chat was as dire as the world is at the minute, basically with what's gone on.
yeah. I must say, I could not believe that when you had like 40, 50-year-old Dars the next day going, I just,
Yeah, I don't know how I'll recover
I
from
just,
this.
yeah, I can't eat my breakfast this morning.
Yeah,
It's too much. Get a
yeah,
grip, mate. You've got 3 kids.
yeah. Come on now.
um, so I mean, Arsenal obviously good because on the TV quite a lot,
Yeah.
being massive club. But did you manage to get to any games at all
What
when you were younger?
during like when we actually won important things?
Yeah,
I
when it
think I went
mattered.
to like one or two, but I barely remember them. I have the
At
tickets
Highbury
somewhere.
or
No,
away?
I didn't manage to get to any in Highbury, unfortunately. Early days of the Emirates when Wenger instantly knew that he hated it,
Yeah.
which was good. And then obviously more recently, I've been a fair few times. But yeah,
All
not
right.
too much in the early 2000s, unfortunately,
Right.
late
Okay.
2000s and whatnot.
So just before we sort of we go in a bit deeper
Hmm.
into Arsenal, just to relax you a bit,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just do a quick five-a-side team where I'll give you two options, and you obviously pick which one.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm assuming you're obviously going to have someone in net, but you've gone for a defender, 2 midfielders, and then a
To
striker.
attack. That's right.
That's
Yeah.
that's how it should be, shouldn't it? On Volta,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like that. Right. So in net, Almunia or Leno.
And we're thinking playing five-a-side with this team,
Yes.
because obviously Leno is absolutely shocking with the ball at his feet. So I'm gonna have to go Almunia.
Almunia.
He's not good at it, but he was better.
He's just famous for that Ronaldo free kick that he
Yeah.
definitely should have
Yeah.
saved.
Yeah.
Right. Ashley Cole
Oof.
or, and this is a tough one, Lee Dixon.
Lee Dixon.
Mm.
Can't stand Ashley Cole for obvious reasons.
Nasri or Reyes.
Oh. Reyes.
Freddie Ljungberg or like a top Sanchez. Like top Sanchez.
I think for recency bias, it's going to be Sanchez for me,
Okay.
because he was unplayable on his day.
Right, up top, Akpom or Yaya Sanogo.
Yaya Sanogo, purely because he got a hat trick in the
Against
Champions
Benfica.
League. Yeah.
Did he? In the
Yeah.
Champions?
No,
Did he?
it was that the Emirates Cup. I swear he did something in the Champions League too, because I've seen it recently. It might just be the Emirates Cup, because I know he obviously scored a hat trick against Benfica in that, and it might just be that.
Do you know what he did do? He scored against Borussia Dortmund.
Oh my word!
I think in the Champions
And
League.
no doubt it would have been like bimbled in, like not at all meant at all, and he would have fallen over it or something, because that's
Probably
pretty much all he did.
I mean, look at him now. I mean, he was at Huddersfield Town last season, and I don't think he's got a club at age
Christ.
29.
I would have thought like Huddersfield, that's good going as well.
Arsenal, then Palace, Ajax. How did it get these moves?
I know,
Charlton,
yeah.
Toulouse, and Huddersfield Town.
It's like Choupo-Moting, but just even
Oh
worse.
my god, yeah.
That kind of tier where his agent's just got a proper. He's proper good at his job.
Indeed. So I mean, we've gone from speaking about some greats to Almunia in that, Dixon sweeping,
Yeah,
Reyes and Sanchez class.
yeah.
That almost makes up for Yaya Sanogo.
I
Up
know,
front.
yeah. I mean, it was limited options, so it's the best
Yeah.
It's the best I could work with.
Okay. And I want you to give me now your top 3 Arsenal home kits. Yeah, just in our lifetime. So what? 1996, 97 onwards. I want maybe not the year, but if you just say the sponsor, I think most people would know what you mean.
Okay, let me just get some, because the JVC one that I've got, I can't remember what year that is. Let me just have a look.
That Maroon 02 one better be in there from 05.
Yeah, that is one in there. Don't
yeah,
worry.
good. Good. That is class.
Right. From like when I basically started watching, yeah. Or can remember, or just at all time.
From when you were born.
Okay.
So 96, 97 time.
Yeah. So I'll cheat a little bit here and say the JVC 94-95 one.
Yeah.
It's absolutely lovely. The one with like the
is that
electric kind of stripes behind it.
Is that the one with Paul Merson doing that?
Yeah.
That's that kit. Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful, that one. And then top 3, yeah.
Mhm.
And then that maroon 05-06 home
class.
kit 02.
That was class.
Yeah, that was quite nice. And then we've had recently those shocking Puma kits, which I would not even ever consider. I do like the new this season's home kit. In fairness, I like the collar on it. It takes like inspiration from that maroon one having an actual collar.
Mhm.
Because it's a bit plain, a bit too boring to say the 02-03 red one. It's just basically like the maroon one, but that's just the Henry one again.
Yeah,
it's just picturesque him. So yeah, if not this season, then probably like the 01-02, the Dreamcast sponsor one, because again that has a nice proper collar.
And what about away kits.
Bruce
So just
Banana.
yeah, the banana, yeah.
Um, Probably the Golden Sega
Yeah.
away kit. I think that
Yeah.
was 0102. And then the black one this season. I absolutely love that one.
Oh, interesting.
Absolutely love that one.
Do you know which one I quite liked?
Yeah.
And I get it 'cause it's not really Arsenal colours. The 11-12 one that was like navy blue, but the top of the shorts and the bottom of the shirt almost had the same colour as the top I'm wearing now.
Oh
Van
yeah, the one
Persie,
where it's like slashed across.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Van
Yeah, yeah,
Persie's
yeah.
got a ludicrous volley. Maybe it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Chelsea or Everton, one of
Yeah,
the two.
against Everton, yeah, he scored
Yeah,
that one where so Alex
yeah.
Song puts it over the top and he just
Alex
absolutely
Song.
lathers it.
For you, if you were designing it, because I'm sure in your little group chat with all your friends, Leeds kits are absolutely disgusting because
I
it
tell you
should
what
be.
though, this you probably
Tell
don't
me.
even like this, but yeah, exactly. You know where this is going, but the one that you have, the yellow one with all like the paintball effect on it, I think that's class.
That is
But
it's
nobody else likes it.
it's an absolute abomination. I just do not understand. Every single season, right?
Yeah,
If they had a yellow kit, it would fly. All I wanted was the home kit in yellow. I would have
yeah,
bought 4. One for me, 2 for my brothers, and another one when the first one got damaged.
yeah.
Right? They would have flown off the shelves. But every season, they just keep like going, oh yeah, we're just playing charcoal and
Go
pink.
a bit wild, yeah.
For you, if you Arsenal, obviously the home colours, you can have 2 kits. Would it just be a yellow one and a black one, or a yellow one and a white one? And on that, actually, before you answer, the kit I did love,
Uh-huh.
Ozil's first season, yellow with the blue collar and the 2 buttons.
Yeah, yeah,
That was class. Right, sorry,
yeah.
go on.
That was nice. But yeah, in terms of colours, obviously red and white, and then I liked I like the black one, so I'd say black is one of the away or the third, and then
Yeah.
probably it'd probably have to be like a yellow, like a Bruce Banana kind of yellow. 'Cause to be fair, we had like a highlighter yellow one last season, which was simple, but it was nice. It's
Yeah,
just
I'm with you.
no designs or anything, nothing crazy, just yellow, and it was effective and nice.
Yeah, there's some things just don't need to be messed about with,
Yeah, yeah, I think that like if you have two solid kits, then the third one or either the third one or the away one can be a bit on edge. That's fine.
Yeah. So you've spoken, or we've spoken at great length about Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
In that sort of pre-2010, so sort of pre-high school era for us,
Hmm.
is there anyone else that stands out as obviously Henry? Let's say after Henry goes, or when you sort of knew he was going to go,
Hmm.
who was your favourite player in that intermediate period?
Oof.
Fabregas, someone like that,
Yeah,
Nasri,
Fabregas, or it'll be a bit, it'll be a bit of a wild card, but probably Kleb.
Alexander Hleb was a very
Yeah,
good
I just
player.
thought he was an
Solid.
absolute baller, and obviously he was one of those that he wasn't a household name at all, so nobody really spoke of him as if he was
Mm,
particularly good, but he was absolutely class. But yeah, probably Fabregas to be fair, the most. But that, I've kind of like suppressed that for since he's done
for
what he's done.
Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so pre-2010,
Hmm.
all the winners are gone, and you've just got the players left. Like who then? Was there ever a point between sort of 2010 and 2015 where you thought, if everything goes for us, we can win the league this year? Or did you just know you weren't good enough?
No, no chance. I remember there was I don't know what year it was, but I went to see Arsenal versus Bradford in the FA Cup. It
Oh
was it.
yeah, when that was in Santi Cazorla hit the post, didn't he,
Yeah,
with
we
that penalty?
yeah we lost on penalties, and like obviously we had a few good players like Santi Cazorla, who like again is another one that's not
Yeah.
spoken about enough for being as good as he was. He just so happened to be in an absolutely awful team for the most part. But we
Mm.
had people like Shamak and players like that who they're just they're just not Arsenal quality at all. Like they could just not do it. They could not offer
Oh, Shaman.
anything.
Yeah.
And like you could just tell by the way that's when like the respect for wearing the shirt kind of fell off for a long
Yeah.
period of time, where they were just like, oh, I'm here to collect my wage and I play for a team that isn't necessarily going to win the league, but like we're going to get top four every year at that point, so we don't really
Yeah.
need to push ourselves. That was basically because the rest of the league at that time, obviously now it's stupidly competitive because everybody's got money, but back
Mm.
then you didn't really have to perform too well and you'd still get top four, which is what we saw under Wenger every year basically until his last.
And how, just sticking in that era then,
Mm-hmm.
your friend, Piers Morgan,
Yeah,
always sort of says. Obviously, he called for Wenger to go out in like 2008 or something.
yeah,
But he said the moment where he just really lost his patience with him was obviously the Van Persie to Man
Man United
United
for
one, in
20
which that
million. Yeah,
essentially gifted them the league.
yeah.
Is that one of those there where you're obviously livid with Van Persie, but at the same time, you're like, how have we allowed this to happen? Because surely it would have been anywhere else
I know.
but
I just feel
Chelsea,
like
Man United, Tottenham.
for me being at that age when it happened, I just don't think I had that understanding of the football club at that point.
Yeah,
I just thought everything's the player's fault, basically. Like he's the one that's instigated everything here. It's not a matter of it's partially the owners, the club. Whereas now I'm like they're all idiots if they did something like that.
yeah, mate. Yeah,
But like back then I was just like, oh, it's Van Persie this, Van Persie that, every word under the sun.
yeah.
But
It's
like it's similar. Like you can draw comparisons with that in that he was aging and he knew that the Arsenal team that he was playing in without going on some hot streak would not win the league.
yeah,
So a move, and that's all he wanted to do was win the league. So a move to Man United for him made sense, which is fine. And you can draw comparisons with that with someone like Harry Kane, who obviously, yeah, Tottenham direct rivals and whatnot, can't stand them, but I almost feel bad for the man
yeah,
because there's no way that team is going to win the league until he is just out the door, basically retired or whatnot.
yeah.
And he will go down as he's beaten all these records, like he's smashing them every week now by the looks of things.
Mhm.
But what does that translate to when you don't have anything at home?
That's
No
just there to be
silverware.
broken, isn't it? That
Yeah,
is just there to be broken. If
yeah.
that
Like
gets
look at
broken,
Haaland already, like 10 games
yeah.
in, or like 7 games in, or whatever. Has already got 10 goals.
If that got broken in your lifetime, you'd be gutted, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
if that got broken and you have nothing to show for it, then you may as well be forgotten about.
I almost feel like Shearer kept himself going a few years just to give
Yeah,
himself a
yeah,
little top up.
just to
And I
keep
bet
topping it
now
up.
he's thinking, oh, for goodness sake, man.
But then he's also probably thinking, well, I won the league with Blackburn, so I'm not too
Exactly.
pressed. I've got something
Exactly.
like immense to show for it, whereas he's got an Aldi Cup, and that's about it.
So if we're looking at that sort of
Hmm.
post Emirates era up until the present day,
Yeah.
who are sort of the big standout players then? If I had to press you for, let's say, the three best players you've seen, Özil obviously doesn't count. He doesn't because he's crap. The three best players that you saw in that time.
Up until present day,
So let's say
without this season, basically.
let's say from Van Persie leaving without this season, for you as a fan, like every club's got it, where for you less so than us, but for
Yeah,
us at the
yeah, yeah,
moment, let's say when we go to Man United next game, because the one this week's been postponed, you're
yeah,
thinking if we keep it tight and if Sinistera has a good game, we
yeah,
might
yeah,
get
yeah.
something.
Something like
Who
that. Yeah.
what were those sort of three standout players for you? Not all at one time, but just
Hmm.
over that period.
It's got to be Alexis Sanchez.
Yep.
I felt like he could literally, well, he did just win games on his own. He
Hmm.
did it in the FA Cup, won us the FA Cup. He did it against Man United when we were in first year at uni.
Yep,
We
I
were 3-0
remember.
up within like 18 minutes or whatever, and it was all because of
Oh,
him.
he's class, wasn't he?
Just takes it out of his feet, beats a few men, and thumps it in the top corner. Like just don't see that very often anymore.
No.
I'd like to say Kieran Tierney, especially last season and the season before that. I feel
Okay.
like he prevented us becoming awful. Basically, we haven't been good the last 2 seasons, but like he was the reason. As soon as he got injured, the whole team fell apart.
Yeah.
It wasn't surprising at all. And he's the kind of footballer that I like a lot because he's not flashy on social media or anything like that. He says it as it is. He walks around with a Tesco bag, for God's sake. Like
Yeah.
he's there to do his job, and
Mhm.
that's it. He's not bothered about the paycheck that he gets. He just wants to get the results and on to the next
Take
one,
it easy.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then probably, it's tough. Without, I don't want to mention obviously too many recent ones because I like a lot of the recent ones, but I'll go with, well, apart from the way it ended, probably Koscielny.
I
I'd
like
say
that.
he fought for the badge through thick and thin, and he had 2 or 3 seasons where it was him and like Vincent Company for the team of the year in that centre back spot, and he was
Mhm.
unplayable. But then it's just a
Okay.
shame how that obviously fizzled out.
Let me just throw a few more at you. Just give me a couple of notes on them.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Wilshere.
Yeah, absolutely insane. But it's just like similar with someone like Diaby, just never got that run of games where you could literally think, okay, this guy's serious. Like you knew he was, but you just knew that he was. It's not because he showed you that he was, because he couldn't play for more than 10 games
If he
without taking a knock.
if he didn't get that horrific injury when he was 18 or
Mm.
19 or whatever it was, right? And he had where do you think he'd be?
Like he could have gone straight to the top. He could have been at Barcelona in the glory days of Barcelona, definitely.
All right, next one, Giroud.
First half of the season when we had Özil and he was on track to absolutely destroy the assist record, he was immense.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly he just forgot how to play football. And then from then on, I cannot forgive him for that. But obviously, he's one of those that the streets won't forget. He'll be on that Twitter page when he retires, because every goal he scores on the highlight reels is immense.
Petr Cech.
Oh God, I can't stomach that, man.
Really?
Yeah, I just mistake after mistake after mistake. Felt like an agent move. Felt like he was undercover.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's just like I was just like, no, don't want him anymore. Get him gone. Appreciate what he tried to bring, but it just didn't work out. Whereas at least we brought someone like David Luiz, and he offered a lot more off the pitch as well than on it for the youngsters and whatnot. And I feel like that's helped a lot of them to get to where they are today.
Right, here's someone who I thought was good, and just for reasons unbeknown to me, he didn't get a chance at Arsenal. Like, everyone could have died, and he still wouldn't have been played. Lucas Perez.
Yeah, he definitely did seem every time he got minutes. Yeah, I know. I think it was literally just because like Alexis, Özil, and Sanchez were just obviously like firing, and then went 6 months without it, and that was just too late to change it, because we'd only ever throw on Perez in the last 15 minutes, but he'd always do something. Like I remember it against it was against Bournemouth, I think it was.
Yeah.
Where we were 3-0 down and we drew 3-3, and Alexis was going mental because Giroud was celebrating like an absolute idiot for getting a point. Mm-hmm. He was like, come on, we need to keep going, we can win this. And like Perez came on, he scored an absolute thumping volley. And that's the kind of thing he did, but he didn't celebrate. No one made a fuss of him. He just kind of ran back to the halfway line, and that was it. And then he was on the bench next week.
And the last one, because I think for a lot of Arsenal fans, he just epitomises everything that was wrong with what Wenger was doing, what he was allowing to happen, what the club just didn't seem arsed about at all. Mathieu Debuchy.
Yeah, I cannot comprehend that transfer.
Just make you feel sick to your stomach.
Yeah, I can't even. Yeah, it's just bonkers, mind blowing. Thankfully, those things don't like. Those things are very rare in the Arsenal like transfer policy of these players that are just like everybody's like what. At least nowadays, you get one or two that there are a few doubters, but no, like it's not 99% against them.
So we'll cover Wenger then. I think you're the same boat as me, that I thought it was so weird when he was in his final year, not knowing that he was going to go, but thinking he's been manager of Arsenal longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, obviously, Man United fans experience something similar, but in many ways very different with Alex Ferguson. Sorry, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, come on.
But what was it like for you? Because I know James Rowan, who's obviously we know at uni is keen to come on. I remember at the time he was. He said, as much as I want him to go, I just don't want him to, because he's all I've ever known.
He is Arsenal,
yeah. He was that stupid zip-up jacket was
Yeah. It's one of them. It's like yesterday when obviously the Queen passed. It's one of those moments where it's like, where was I when this happened?
Yeah.
And I literally remember I was in a politics seminar. It was like a tiny group. It was like 6 people, I think. And I remember looking at my phone, and my mate who was going to Manchester Uni, he's a Man United fan. Like I saw the headline break, and I was just like, no, that's like some sort of fake push through notey or something. Like this is not. And then he was like, he's retired, he's gone. I was just like, I didn't know what to do with myself. Because it's similar with what you were saying, with what James was saying. He was like, as much as he probably needed to go, because that's all I've ever known, it felt like we were just it felt like that was the end because we had no idea where it was going to go from then. It's like as sad as that sounds, but like it was just like the fear of unknown, basically.
So I've just got 4 things to sort of bring up then with Wenger, and we'll go
Mhm.
through them systematically. First one, a lot of Arsenal fans were saying this is when you started, from what I remember, you start to get murmurs, funnily enough, about the time Gary Neville and Carragher started
Yeah,
appearing on our
yeah,
screen.
the bloody pushers.
Yeah, you started to get murmurs then, but a lot of, and I think this is completely sensible from an Arsenal fan's point of view at the time, of if there's ever a season where we're not going to get top 4, then he should go. And that day did actually come, and he didn't lose his job.
Yeah,
For you, when you didn't get top 4 for the first time in
God knows how long.
20, 21 years,
Yeah,
were you then thinking, right, this is it, the curtain needs to close?
I think there was definitely the majority of me was thinking that, but again, it's one of those because he'd done it for that long. It was always going to be like,
He had credit in the bank.
yeah, if he'd done it in the early years, then yeah, that's fine, get gone.
Hmm.
But because he'd been doing it for that long, and we'd seen how the owners had just neglected the transfers and everything.
Yeah.
And obviously, as the other teams have then progressed around us in their owner spending and everything, I was just like, it was going to happen at one point with the rate that we were going at. And then when you've got players like Özil who just
Yep.
turn up one week and then not the other, and our team was seemingly full of those kinds of players, it was the writing was on the wall that was going to happen.
Looking back now,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand, we'll come on to the owners in a minute, but looking back now, and where you ended up for 3, 4, 5, and some would argue, even today,
Yeah.
because as you know, a good start, but you're not dead set to get 4th or 3rd.
No, of course.
But you're looking at Van Persie going, and I remember at the time, all the money was, we're going to go and get Higuain.
Yeah.
Mourinho doesn't want him, we're going to get Higuain. But instead, you get Giroud and Podolski.
Mm-hmm.
You got Santi with that money, good signing. But, Debussy we spoke about, Shkodran Mustafi, persevering with Mertesacker, Czech, Xhaka, all these sorts of players where you just look at it. I mean, Sanchez for free, again, he didn't have long left, in exchange for Henrik Mkhitaryan. Does he have to take his share of the blame in terms of, yes, he's left a great legacy over the course of 21 years, but the last 3 years, particularly the transfer policies,
Yeah,
have
he
been
made it a
absolutely
lot
shambolic.
harder. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I
Mhm.
think he set up the next. Well, he set up like Unai Emery, for example. Obviously, he had his drawbacks too, but the team was an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And I feel like we are only now getting away from that after pretty much cancelling everybody's contracts. So financially, it's been horrendous.
Now, another thing that I think, and it'll all tie into the final thing, but this is the third of the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody knows, as rich as Stan Kroenke is, very wealthy man,
Yep.
he's not as rich as, sovereign fund from an oil rich state, a la Newcastle United,
Yeah.
or, Manchester City. But, he didn't. When I look back, I thought he mended a rod for his own back, particularly when he did that thing going, we haven't spent, but we've got a war chest this summer. And the only person you signed was Czech.
Yeah.
And then when your ticket prices went up, and that was going to be like, not only were you the most expensive by X amount, but they'd gone up, and he went on and he backed the ticket price raise, saying that, and obviously negotiated his own salary and got a £3 million pay rise. What do you think on that? I mean, I understand everyone's going to want to get as much money as they can, but some of that stuff surely must have grated on.
Oh yeah,
yourself,
absolutely.
fellow Arsenal fans.
It just kind of highlighted the American ownership until of recent. It was just like this. They purely saw it as a business, not as a fact that the millions of people around the world actually passionately care about the club,
Arsenal.
not the finances. Nobody cares about that. Like in modern day people, like on Twitter, you see fans taking the piss out of other fans for paying X amount for a player. It's like, well, it's no skin off your back. So Why is that
It's
even a
it's literally
drawing
just
point?
numbers on a page,
Yeah,
isn't it? It's
like
nothing.
it doesn't. Obviously, if it was absolutely astronomical, then I'd be a bit weary about it. But yeah, it was definitely one of those where it's just like, well, that's when I think that was the season when the Kroenke protests really like ramped up to a point
Mhm.
of being the majority of the fan base.
Yeah.
And obviously that never helped the atmosphere of when we lost games, when we dropped points, when we have all these players that were unfairly signed because they weren't good enough,
Mhm.
and they had to take the slack of the anger and frustration because Kroenke was never at the games because he only cared about the Rams or whatever it is in America.
Yeah. Now, all of those things that I've just mentioned, and I'm going to be honest, as someone who couldn't like, it's not that I dislike Arsenal, they're not my team,
Yeah, yeah.
but for me, since he's gone, it's fallen off a cliff. But how much of that was due to the media attention and the publicity that Robbie and DT and Ty
Yeah, that
and
did
Lee
not.
Judges, do you think ultimately that was, that last leaf that falls on top of something to make it sink? Do you think he might have got away with it for another year or two and gone on his own accord, or do you feel like they really
Yeah,
hounded him out?
yeah. I feel like that did definitely come into account for it
Yeah,
because it was just like it wasn't even like it wasn't even just contained within our fan base. It was everywhere.
yeah.
Like everyone that had a thought of football knew more about Arsenal Fan TV than they did anything else.
I remember when one of the first conversations I ever had with you, and you went Arsenal fan. I went, oh, Arsenal fan TV, and you went,
Yeah, I just
"What?"
can't.
You went,
If,
people used to say something about Van Persie or Wenger or good
yeah,
result at the
yeah.
weekend, but for that's
For
18
that,
months,
yeah, it felt
all
like it
anyone
was
ever
an
said was
eternity.
Arsenal.
It was
Yeah,
just Arsenal Fan TV. Did you see the reaction of Ty, or did you see that? Like, oh my god, please cut that out. But yeah, there was definitely like murmurings of like the club trying to cancel Arsenal Fan TV.
mhm,
I've said whether that was true or not, it felt like it should have been and should have happened. But yeah, I definitely think that contributed to the downfall.
yeah. I think the thing for me, and I'm going to hold my hands up and say, 19, 20, 21. You think you know it all. Now I'm now 25, and I do know everything about everything now, which is good.
Yeah, yeah,
But at the time, I was obviously tuning in because you weren't doing bad, but you'd like lose to Watford or West Brom out of
yeah.
nowhere,
That was
and
the
you
thing. It
gone
was just like one loss, and it all went
and
like
yeah.
this meltdown.
But I could see that they painted a very convincing picture. You go to every game. Like I remember DT did that one where he went, since Arsenal last won the Premier League, I've spent over 70 grand going to games, blah blah blah. But now when I don't watch it, but when I see it now, and
Yeah,
if you see little snippets, you just think that is the most forced thing I've ever seen.
yeah.
And for you as an Arsenal fan, do you sort of think it's a bit embarrassing, or you like live and let live, or what?
I just see it now as Robbie's clearly he's just looked at the numbers that he can make from it all now as
Yeah,
exposure. He's purely running it like Stan Kroenke is with the club, or was basically.
firing
He,
shots.
he,
Gee.
he runs it like it's a business, which I can understand, but at the same time, why would you mix your pleasure with the business,
Mm,
regardless of how much it's making you? Because
yeah.
if that was me, like if I set up a fan cam or whatever, and
Mhm.
we started to go, like we started to drop off, like we may do,
Yeah.
and like one, two, three losses or whatever,
Mhm.
and like the comments and everything just become really toxic. But
Yeah.
I just keep going with it. Like I'll just end up losing myself to bringing a camera every week.
Mhm.
Just like I feel like what's happened with Robbie. And now, like, look at Troop. Troops has made a career off being on the camera now. Now he's
It's
doing it in
mad, isn't it?
America. It's ridiculous. Which is like, again, fair play, but things that you've said have like damaged a lot of the things that people think about, like as Arsenal fans, and the way
Yeah.
people view Arsenal from outsiders, like yourself. Like, it's the first thing you think of. Oh, Arsenal fan TV. It's just like that is not at all what like we want to be like thought of as. There's nothing else. There's nobody else in the Premier League like that. Obviously, like
No,
Man United
there
have
isn't.
fan cams that are terrible, but they never get to the melting pot that Arsenal
But
fans TV
that
did.
that's the thing. Like with people like, and this is really lazy because I just don't really know that. But like Mark Goldbridge, for example,
Yeah, yeah,
right? When he does those ones, There's just all those clips on YouTube where it's just
Yeah, yeah,
people like paying money, so he has to read something out like
yeah, yeah,
compensate. But it's just like it seems to be like there's a good chunk of like genuine everyday Man United fans just going on and battering him.
yeah,
But as you said, with Arsenal, it almost felt like at a time, I wouldn't say they brainwash people, but people are actually like, yeah, you know what? Keep going
yeah,
because I've had
yeah.
enough of Arsene Wenger and I've had enough of
But it was
Stan
just
Kroenke.
always like
Yeah,
there would never be anyone on there really. Well, there would always be, it would be 90% negative, and the 10% positive would never get pushed on the socials.
apart from Ty.
Well, yeah, but that was, people only watched him because of everything else that's going on with the bloke. But like DT, Troops, lead judges, all of these were pushed hard because they were screaming the loudest, basically.
Yeah.
And that made a lot of fans who were probably younger than I was at the time, all just sick of it at that point. So they just had something to grab onto. And then obviously that just snowballed into the downfall.
So moving on to a lighter note then.
Mm-hmm.
All time, you know, and I think I can probably guess what your favourite one is at the moment. So leave the current chance. What's your all-time favourite chant?
So goodbye to the Saliba one then. All-time favourite chant.
Was it "We've got a Zell"?
I didn't mind that one, in
Yeah, I
fairness.
like
As
Alexis
bad as
Sanchez,
it.
baby.
Yeah, I really did like that one too. To be fair, last season, Smith Rowe and Bukayo Saka.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that, man. I'm sorry. I'm sick of hearing
I mean,
that
it
one.
sounds worse when it's Casemiro and whatever they've adopted in Manchester, for
You're as
God's
bad
sake.
as each other.
Nah, that's absolutely foul. But yeah, I'd probably say, again, it's like 15, 16 early Ozil, that chant
Yeah, it
sticks
was a good
with me.
one.
Yeah.
I also remember one of your one of your tweets when you beat City.
Oh, in 2015, when the last time we actually beat them.
No. It was
Oh, was it in the
mid.
FA Cup semi-final or
I
something?
think it was in the FA Cup, right? And there's a picture of the squad, and then
Kolasinac scores on his debut.
there's the close in of Tierney giving the finger to the camera,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you just did a tweet in block capital that says "armband now."
I mean, it was from that point onwards. I had a little love relationship with the band. I just absolutely love KT. He's just such a boy.
The thing is, do you think Arteta fancies him?
Not now, I don't think, sadly.
Do you think?
Not since Zinchenko's come along.
What do you think of Tavares? I know he's on loan now. What do you think last year? Could be good, but not there yet, or just not good enough.
Yeah, I think he's definitely like, you can tell with him it's raw talent.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. It was always raw talent. Obviously, it was not good enough for what we want, what we
yeah,
needed.
yeah.
But you could tell. Probably the same with. I remember when we signed Saliba and he played in a preseason game in his first, like when he was before he got loaned out for his first year, and he played. It was like Milton Keynes or Doncaster or something,
Yeah,
and
it's someone like that.
and like you could tell that he knew what he was doing, but then he got a red card, and obviously to a normal fan that doesn't really watch the games and they see that on Sky Sports or whatever, like, oh dear, get rid of him. Like, who's this kid that we've just signed for 27 million and he's just got
Yeah.
a red card in his first debut for the club, basically. And then he got sent on loan for 3 years. But now look what's happened to him. It's done him an absolute world of good.
I think that's it, innit? I just think, I mean, you know it, like from when we played at uni and stuff. Like, I even when I play five-a-side now, I know how I'm going to play based on my first touch of the ball.
Yeah.
Even
yeah,
if you said you're going to be playing for 15 hours straight,
yeah,
that
literally.
first touch, you
Yeah.
know, I'm either with it today
Or
or I'm
not.
not.
Yeah.
And I think going away out of, obviously, I'm not. Was it Marseille? Was that
Yeah. Yeah.
massive club, but not Arsenal?
Yeah.
And you know, being sort of out the headlines and stuff, I think
It's done him a
you know,
world of good.
obviously done in the world of good.
Yeah.
Right, I'm not going to hold it back anymore. Give me your all-time Arsenal 11 then. Your all-time. I can't wait to see Pepe right wing on this.
There's got to be one in there that you'll probably raise an eyebrow to. Jens Lehmann
Yeah.
in goal.
Mhm.
Kieran Tierney. We'll
Okay.
go with a 4-3-3 for this, I guess.
All right.
This is going to sound really deluded, but I'm going to say Saliba just because the start he's made.
Jesus.
Yeah, I knew
You're
that was going to get the
joking.
reaction. But it's
Really,
between
mate?
him and Koscielny.
What
for
about,
me.
you know, Adams and Sol Campbell and
Sol
Ben Maldini?
Campbell's my next one.
Okay, Sol Campbell and Saliba.
And then Bakary Sagna.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about Sanya.
It was a close one between him and early Bellerin, to be fair, because Bellerin before he did his ACL was absolutely untouchable.
Before he became a political activist.
Yeah. Before he became a vegan and became a political activist,
Yes.
But yeah, moving on. In like the defensive midfield, it's got to be Patrick Vieira, just absolutely untouchable. Mesut Ozil, that's just
Ooh,
absolutely class.
we're number 10.
Yeah, I'd say number 10. So there's no Dennis Bergkamp in this.
Wow.
Yeah. And then this one's going to shock you, but this just sums up my growing like passion with the club. I've never felt more passionate about Arsenal than I have done now, and this man epitomizes that. And it's Granit Xhaka. The absolute fall from grace, and now he's working his way back up, and he's winning over the fans again, and it's just unbelievable. And then I'd probably say Henry, obviously, as the striker
up top. Yeah.
And then, this is very tough again. It was between Alexis and Robert Pires. I'll probably go Pires out of those two. Very close, but. And then last one is going to say it, Bukayo Saka for me. Just absolute raw talent again, and he's actually got some finesse about him.
So, I must say, good team, but I'm just astounded. I'm absolutely astounded. No Winterburn, no Lauren, no.
I had to think about it. I genuinely had to think about it.
No Tony Adams. I know he was injured a lot, but no Wilshere, no Fabregas, no Nasri.
I have my honourable mentions with most of them on.
I mean, Bukayo Saka, all-time Arsenal 11.
Mate, it's.
Thing is, in 2 years we might look back and I might look like a complete idiot for doubting
Yeah, I'm just investing early, you see.
Wow.
It's just, to me that's it. I think obviously mainly that's it because in the last like 4 years is when I've been able to go and see them a lot more.
Yeah.
And I've been able to see these players live a lot more than obviously I did, and I'm able to process a lot more these days and think about certain things.
No, I do understand that. Like,
as much as I'd obviously like to just put basically the whole Invincible team in there, it wasn't so. Well, obviously I was there, like I was watching it and whatnot, but like barely remember any of it, and it didn't really impact me as if it happened like again today.
No, I completely understand that. Like, you obviously slightly different history and stuff, but with Leeds, if you ask for the old time, everyone would put like Viduka and stuff in there.
Yeah.
But if I'm being completely honest, Kemar Roofe gave me the best moment of my life.
Yeah, there's there's absolute cultural players like that.
It was a last-minute winner against Blackburn on Boxing Day, but
absolute limbs.
It was like, I'm trying to think. We were 1-0 up, out of nowhere we were 2-1 down. We scored again, and everyone was thinking, right, we should have won that. Blah blah blah. There's like seconds left.
Game's gone.
Ball goes in, and you just like. And the worst thing about that was we didn't go up that season. But that was the one moment where I thought stuff like that doesn't happen in other seasons.
Yeah, that's to say, it's probably the same with our Danny Welbeck winner against Leicester. Obviously, the season that they won the league, like we were the only team to beat them twice.
Yeah.
But there was like a moment when that goal went in. It was like, is this it? Like, is this it?
What you were saying earlier about you were never good enough. Was that the one season?
Yeah, that's probably the one season.
Leicester are going to fall off inevitably, which they didn't. Fair play to them.
Yeah, I think that was because literally everybody was saying the same thing. Because what was the betting odds of Leicester even up until Christmas? It was ludicrous.
750.
Yeah, like it was like they've come February, they're probably like 7th. But no, obviously credit to them, they absolutely smashed it. But yeah, when that Welbeck winner went in, I was just like, okay. I'm intrigued a little bit here, but then obviously you set yourself up for failure when you do that.
I hope your reaction was just as it was there. That Welbeck, when you should have been doing absolute backflips. You went, all right, I'm intrigued now.
Yeah. It was not. It certainly wasn't like backflip limbs because I was just like, I know what this team's like. You've put me through it enough. I know you have your moments like this, but I know you have other moments where we go and play 8 defenders against Palace and go and get beat.
So you get into a lot of games these days, then, are you?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. I
well,
try.
more so than you ever were.
Yeah. I tried to get to I tried to go to most of the away games.
Yeah.
I've done most of them. The
Have you,
only I haven't.
are you a season ticket holder at
No, I'm
Arsenal
not.
now?
But I've got a few mates that are, and
Of
they
course.
don't
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
season ticket waiting list is an absolute joke.
It's a disgrace, isn't
I'm
it?
like 160,000th or something, and I've been on the
Oh,
waiting list for like
maybe
8 years.
90, 100 years you might get a call.
Yeah. I'll be dead by the time I
Yeah.
get the ticket. Probably. It's absolutely crazy.
What's the best atmosphere you've been to recently? Have you had any Old Traffords or Stamford Bridges
Yeah,
away
Old
that?
Trafford. Old Trafford. Unfortunately, every time I've been to Old Trafford, we've lost. But
Yeah.
the atmosphere up until that moment, I think we lost 2-1. I think Fellaini scored in like the last few minutes,
Yeah.
and this was back when obviously nowadays I say it with majority confidence that I know we lost against them last week, but we were by far the better team on the pitch.
Mhm.
It's just certain profiles on our team just aren't quite ready for that kind of like conflicting game where it's a lot
Yep.
more than just football. You
Mhm.
need to have a bit of fire in your belly for it. But I feel like when we used to, even a few seasons ago, when we go to a ground like Old Trafford, we did basically expect to lose.
Yeah.
So and I know we did lose in the game that I went to see, but Fellaini scored in like the last minute. But up until that point, it was absolutely electric. We were there for a point, and I think it was a Monday night, and it was absolutely pissing it down. And it was just like this is football. This epitomizes the good old football here. And it was like proper handbags every 2 moments. But it was a proper scrap. And then obviously Fellaini scored, and it was like, right, get out of here. But yeah, it was a really
I
good atmosphere. That.
I can imagine that. Have you ever? Because I do remember. I know you obviously couldn't go because it was like stupidly logistically impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But at uni, did you get offered tickets to Ostersund's away?
Yeah.
Have you been to a European away?
No, again, I got offered Zurich tickets yesterday. But it's just, I want to
Yeah.
go
What
this season. I've tried to plan it.
yesterday?
Yeah,
As
for
in, someone
yesterday's
said,
game.
"Do no?" But did
Yeah,
they
yeah,
offer
yeah.
them
They
to you
offered me the yesterday. They
yesterday?
were like, I've got free tickets because I can't go. And I was just like, what? Game's
Oh,
today, mate.
I'll just swim there. I'll just
Yeah,
swim to
yeah, no
Switzerland,
worries.
even though it's
I've got
landlocked.
about
I'll just
4 hours until kickoff. Off we go in my private jet.
get.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my mate. I think you met Ra at uni. He was
Yes,
a
I did.
housemate of
Good
mine,
lad.
and he was an Arsenal fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to organise PSV away at the end of October because obviously it's an hour outside of Amsterdam, so it's not too difficult to get there.
Yeah, that'd be
And like
belting that PSV.
tickets are pretty easy enough to get for those kinds of
Mhm.
aways on a Thursday night.
Are they?
Yeah, I think it's just
I sup
because it's a
Yeah.
Thursday, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose if you know the right people, then
Yeah,
then it makes sense.
yeah, that's the
Uh,
thing. It's definitely knowing the right people for these kinds of things. Getting home tickets is tough, especially
yeah,
now. But like, it's not impossible. If you just sit spamming the refresh button, you'll eventually get in.
yeah, true. Um, right, so we'll do a quick quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did one with Liam, the other Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same questions because I couldn't be bothered to change them
God, this is gonna be
because,
horrendous.
I've been busy. So let's see how many you get. Okay.
Oh God, put me on the spot here.
How many appearances to the nearest 50 did former Leeds, Villa, and Al Ahly manager David O'Leary make for Arsenal? Arsenal's all-time appearance holder.
Oh my goodness me.
Just take a stab, mate. Liam didn't get it. All-time Arsenal, massive club, loads of players. You want to say their whole career? Take a stab.
Goodness me. Absolutely no idea. 400.
Mate, no, 700.
Oh,
722 is how many he made, right?
crikey.
Okay, I'm hoping you get this one, and I'm surprised that we haven't mentioned him. Who did Arsenal sign Thomas Rosicky from?
Sparta Prague, was it not?
Borussia Dortmund.
Oh fuck yeah, it was. That's where he was bloody. That's where he came from, wasn't it?
How class was Rosicky?
Yeah, yeah. That goal against Tottenham in the 1-0 win
Yeah.
where he just thumps it in away at White Hart Lane as well. Of
In the
course it was Borussia Dortmund.
1994 European Super Cup final, Arsenal lost over 2 legs to AC Milan. Paolo Di Canio was in that AC Milan squad. What was the score?
Testing me here. I haven't really looked back at any of that.
Don't worry, mate. Liam, out of the 10, Liam got
I'm gonna get
5.
absolutely. Okay, well he's beating me. Go off that. What was the aggregate score? Did you say?
Yeah, what was the aggregate score? Just picture 90s Italian team keeping
Yeah.
it tight, love to defend. Go on.
2-0.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Right, so there you go, Josh.
Off the
Right,
mark.
you're off the mark. Right, how many attempts did it take Arsene Wenger to beat Jose Mourinho?
It's something ridiculous. I can just picture them pushing on the sidelines now. I don't know. Again, was it? I'm going to say 19 times.
No, not that bad. 14.
Okay.
How many FA Cups did Wenger win as Arsenal manager?
God, again, this is shocking. Absolutely flown out of my head here. I'll say 5 times.
Oh, Josh, not 7. Right.
Stinkers.
Name 6 Germans, just 6 of them that have played for Arsenal. Any you want.
Jens
Any you want.
Lehmann,
Yeah,
Bernd Leno,
yeah,
Mustafi,
yeah,
Mertesacker,
yeah,
Ozil.
yeah.
Final German. Why am I drawing a blank?
There's one guy that comes to mind for
Serge
me.
Gnabry.
Oh, Gnabry. That is. I was actually thinking Podolski, but Gnabry. What a shout!
I know, yeah, Big Gnabry. I wish we'd somehow managed to entice him back this summer, but there was no chance
Who
of
would
that.
you rather have, Gnabry or Sane?
Gnabry.
Okay. To the nearest percent, George Graham's win percentage as Arsenal
Oh,
manager.
goodness me. Oh, my God, I'm absolutely stumped here. Eesh.
Bear in mind, I think I'm trying to get my maths right here. My history right. George Graham goes. Bruce Rioch comes in. Arsene Wenger comes in. So you sort of think that everyone goes on about the great back four that George Graham had. I think.
Yeah. Nearest percent.
Yeah.
I swear it's like 49%.
Oh, right on the money.
Was it?
49.2%, mate. That's really good.
I only
Well
remember
done.
that because I swear I saw like someone on like Premier League goals or something talk about that the other day.
What number did Lucas Podolski wear for Arsenal?
10.
Oh, it was 9.
Oh fuck! Of course it was 9.
Because Ozil was,
Yeah,
Wilshere was
yeah.
10,
I
then
had the long.
Ozil was
How
10.
have I not? I had the long sleeve bloody kit with Podolski on the back.
How many honours has Alexis Sanchez won since he left Arsenal? So that's Man United and Inter Milan, and obviously Marseille. But he's obviously not won anything at Marseille. And did he win anything at United? Yeah.
Did Inter Milan win the league? Was he there when Lukaku and before Lukaku went to Chelsea? I'm gonna say 1.
2.
What was it?
He won the league and I think the Super
The
Italian.
Super Italian Cup or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right. The thing is, I'll be impressed if you get this. Name all 6 Premier League clubs that Nicolas Anelka played for.
Bolton, Chelsea,
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think you've frozen though. I don't know what's happened.
I have frozen, but can you hear me?
Bolton. Goodness me. Hello? Hello?
I'm still here, Josh. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, it literally must be the screen. I'll just turn off my camera.
Can you
I'll
hear
get
me, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'll get Maze to edit it out, and
Yeah,
we'll
that's fine.
start from 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so you've obviously got City. Oh wait, you haven't got City, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
City's one of them.
Thanks for
Right.
that.
So you've got Arsenal, City, Bolton,
West
Chelsea.
Brom.
Yeah.
And oh my god. It's Liverpool, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So you got 4, not bad.
Yeah.
But obviously you should have got Podolski.
Yeah, that's the shocker, that.
And looking back now, I think you would have been comfortable to get Thomas Rosicky.
Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't jump the gun on that, I think I would have done. I
Right,
just thought
so
I just thought that because I went to Prague a couple of
yeah.
years ago and I saw him play there, so I just instantly, because I knew obviously he went back there.
So last one, just a quick opinions with George.
Mm-hmm.
Controversial as always. Mourinho is a better manager than Arsene Wenger. Yes or no for you?
No,
What?
you're asking me.
8 league titles,
Yeah,
2
yeah, yeah.
Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues, 1 Conference League.
Yeah, but if you give Wenger that in a different country, I think he does that too
Okay.
for a
Right.
different club.
I couldn't believe it when Liam agreed with this one.
Okay.
I could not believe it, right? Historically, Arsenal have been the biggest club in London, right? In
Yeah.
London.
Yeah.
But now Chelsea are. Yes or no? No, not in the country, just in London. Chelsea are now the biggest club in London.
What we like? How are we quantifying big
That's up to you, mate. My argument would be
trophies? Is it?
2 Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
You know, it isn't. They do have a big fan base, not as big as Arsenal's.
Yeah, I'm going off the culture of clubs in London. I'm going to say no.
Okay. Would you say Chelsea are bigger than Spurs?
Yeah, Spurs are the smallest.
Are they bigger than
Smaller
West
than
Ham?
Fulham and whatnot.
Are they bigger than West Ham? Chelsea?
No.
No.
Oh, Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea are bigger than West Ham. Yeah.
Okay, right. Last one. And I already know the answer to this. Thierry Henry, always technically a better footballer, right? But all the cards on the table, Sergio Aguero was a better Premier League striker.
No.
Okay, I thought so. I thought so. Let me just see if no,
Yeah,
I don't have any more.
cross-reference that. Oh,
Yeah, I
camera's
don't
come
have
back.
yeah, the camera's come back. I think I was just scared that you'd throw something virtually through the screen that hit me with those sorts of questions. So just really quickly then, Josh, before we wrap up. So I hope you don't mind me saying, but you're living in Newcastle now,
Yeah.
and there's obviously been all this media interest, maybe a bit unfairly, as a slight on some Newcastle fans, because the media are drawing up where the money's coming from, and a lot of Newcastle fans going, well, you know what? Dig deep enough into anyone and you'll find it. I mean,
Yeah.
you can imagine all the evil I've committed in my life.
Yeah.
Has the atmosphere for you, from what you've seen as someone who couldn't care less, has the atmosphere changed up there on a match day? Can you smell it in the air?
Yeah, it has definitely changed. It's gone from doom and gloom to like it's jumped from one extreme to the other. It's gone from doom and gloom under Bruce, and like when the takeover was originally not back, that sent the city on a spiral. Obviously, that was like with COVID and everything, so like everybody was already absolutely in the dumps, and that happened, and it was just awful. And then now it's gone from it's kind of gone from that to absolute like disillusion. Essentially, they think that they're rightfully placed in that top 6 debate. Whether they will or not in terms of what they actually display on the football pitch, because obviously they were very good and they have been very good this season. But it doesn't. The fans have now. A lot of fans have all of a sudden just forgotten about the whole project middle part and just jumped straight to we're the richest, so we should be able to do like what Man City did, basically.
So obviously you're not a Leeds fan, but I'm sure you had your fair share of nonsense from Leeds fans. We both went to uni in Liverpool, and the absolute codswallop that you heard from them was is unrivaled to anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Obviously, me being down in London, you stupid things about West Ham, etc., and Spurs and Arsenal and Chelsea and all that. But with Newcastle, and everyone drones on about them being a like sort of a one club city and all that.
Yeah.
Are they as bad as Liverpool fans were in Liverpool? Like the worst Newcastle fan?
No
Are
chance.
they? No chance.
No
Are
chance.
they much more realistic?
Yeah. They're like they're like they're kind of funny with it.
Yeah.
They don't think they think that they should be in the top 6. That's not like that's only bad because they've not been there. Apart from when Pardew managed it, like that's it. Whereas Liverpool fans just seem to think that they should win everything every year.
Well, they should. They're massive
club. Yeah, they should. Yeah, going to get absolutely drubbed by Napoli, and it's just quite fun to see the absolute decline of it at the minute.
Do you think he's finished? Do you actually think he's a dead man walking?
I think the players have for some reason just decided to stop playing. and
Do you think they've
I'm not
do you
entirely
think
sure. I think they might have
they've
just had it. Yeah, it might just be one of
had
those where it's like,
had enough of his bull crap?
yeah, I kind of want someone new, some new ideas. Because
Yeah.
look at someone like Trent. I know Trent's never been good defensively,
Mhm.
but he has been absolutely. It's like he's just playing on a Sunday league and he can't be asked. He's hung over and just can't be bothered defending. Him and
Big
Joe Gomez just seem to like vibe off each other and just go, I
yeah.
can't be bothered. I
Big
feel
night on
bad for Van
big
Dijk
big
because
night on
obviously,
Concert Square.
yeah, it seems like that. I feel bad for Van Dijk because obviously Van Dijk is a very good defender.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a credit to him that he managed to hold that defense together to make it look as good, to make those individuals look as good as they did. Obviously, yeah, they are good players. They're Premier League footballers at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
like that doesn't mean you just turn off. Like, Trent has not had a good game this season.
Josh.
He has not had a good game this season, and now
Josh.
I can see why Southgate would be tempted to leave him at home again. Because we have a plethora of right backs that actually want to try and are far better performing this season.
Yeah.
I'd even say Ben White's been better this season, and he's been playing right back.
I mean, Ben White.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Ben White? Because obviously was in that championship, in that promotion team.
I absolutely love Ben White.
Mhm.
Honestly, I absolutely love him. Ben Maldini, as he's known to me,
Yeah.
because Pontus Jansson went to Brentford, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, right, okay, he was bad news. Let's get in a centre back. We got him on loan,
Yeah.
and everyone was like, who the hell is that? He's been at Newport and Peterborough. He is not good enough to come into a championship team.
Yeah.
I
Premier
don't
League
think,
pushing.
and you know what I'm going to say? Nobody was wrong to think that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's definitely one of
he
those when they have that history and background, everyone's going to be skeptical.
he had that one season that you need, where I think winning every week, really confident,
Yeah.
and I think he just walked straight back into Brighton as their best defender.
Yeah.
And it was. I mean, when we first came up, you might remember. I think we put in 3 bids. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
the
You were really
highest,
after him.
yeah, the highest one going up to like 30, I think.
Yeah.
And then the Brighton just said no chance.
Yeah, Brighton are just really good at getting the money, aren't they?
Yeah, but the thing is, I do really like him, and I want him to do well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people are quick to jump on him
Yeah, definitely.
because, as I've heard Lee Gunner
Yeah.
say, could refer to him as the Love Island
Yeah,
Mustafi.
yeah. It's the appearance that makes it up. I don't know if you've seen the part of him on the Arsenal All or Nothing documentary. It's
I
quite
haven't.
interesting.
I've only seen the first episode. Why? What sort of stuff does he say?
He has a segment where basically he was like, when he was growing up, he never liked football. His family
Yeah.
like none of them like football at all.
Right.
Like none of them play it, and like he wasn't like, his parents wouldn't be like, right, we're gonna go get you into a football team or anything.
Yeah.
Like there was never any pressure to do it. And like he said, like one day, like his mum had like the hairdresser around or something, and like he was just being like a really annoying child as you are, and the hairdresser was like, right, let's go out into the back garden and just kick a ball. So like he just went out and kicked a ball, and that's when he kind of just went, all right, I'm not bad at this. And from then on, he just got into football, and then it's just kind of spiraled upwards from there.
Well, there you go.
I really like him, but again, his appearance is what usually drags him down a little bit, just because he looks like that. Because everyone's like, when he makes a mistake, he's like, oh, he spent too long on the sunbeds or whatnot. It's just like, right, okay.
He's a good-looking guy though, and he's
yeah, that's the thing.
guy.
Yeah.
Really quickly, just one request from an old friend.
Yeah.
If I see the words Mickey Teta on your Twitter again, I'm reporting you for abuse.
Is that Nath, is it?
No, that's me.
Oh, it's you.
Is you referring to him as Mickey Teta?
Mickey Teta's Tricky Reds.
Please stop. If it was Mikel Arteta's Tricky Reds,
I'll take that. That'll be my one takeaway from this.
God, I flipping hate that.
If I don't tweet in the moment, I'll remember that.
What do you actually think about him?
What do I actually think about Arteta?
What do you actually think about Arteta? Because for me, I think handsome, probably wears nice cologne.
Yeah.
I think he's learned very well from his time as Arsenal captain and being at a successful club like Man City about how to manage the media.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, That's 90% of the job these days.
It is, yeah.
But you look at last season, and maybe
Mhm.
they did well the season before to win the FA Cup. I get that, but you look at last season. Do you not sort of think, if without the European football we had a real chance? Yes, the whole Aubameyang thing was a shame, but do you think he can only take you so far, or do you think he could be the man to take you back to the top?
I
And I
think he
mean
can be
the
the man
top.
to. He can take us back to the top. I have faith in him. A, because he's got the club actually financially backing him, which we
Yeah.
have not seen in
Mhm.
the correct areas anyway. They all, like, because Stan Kroenke's obviously appointed his son Josh
Yeah.
to basically run the club, and
Uh-huh.
like he has a really good relationship with Arteta, and like vice versa. So
Yeah.
I feel like Arteta now has the keys to the club in terms of the finances, which has never been seen before. In
Yeah.
terms of where he spent, obviously, like at the end of the transfer window just gone, it has fallen a bit flat with how many injuries we received
Yeah.
and how much little action we did. I know we put 3 bids in for Douglas Luiz, but it just felt like panic stations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like we just don't unfortunately have the financial power like Chelsea or Man United do, where
Yeah. Of
their
course.
panics are paying 100 million for a winger who's no better than like me on a Sunday, and getting someone like Casemiro who is absolutely world class, but what's to
He's quite
say?
clearly a mercenary now.
Yeah, what's to say? Like, why would he be any more motivated than he ever has been to play in the Europa
Yeah.
League?
Yeah.
Like he could quite easily just come over and just collect a paycheck and that's it.
Yeah.
He has no reason to do any more than that. And
Mhm.
off his performance yesterday, that's exactly what it looked like. But yeah, I definitely feel Arteta is the man. It's the most unified I've felt.
Yeah.
And it probably is because a thing like Arsenal Fan TV does not get the airtime that it once did. Because a
Yeah.
lot of fans now are just like, we've had enough of you, go away, basically.
No.
And like people just aren't tuning in. People are unsubscribing. They're not getting the views. They're not getting the revenue.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I do back him.
Well, we'll see what happens this season. I mean, I think
Yeah, absolutely.
I think now that Chelsea have got Graham Potter, who's finally going to be exposed, um, I don't think they're in for it. I'm afraid, unless
No,
Aubameyang comes in and scores 15
nah,
goals,
there's no chance of that.
Sterling can't do it by himself.
No,
I'm
that's the thing.
afraid. So I think with Chelsea falling off a bit, Man United have got all the hype at the moment because they obviously had 2 good results, you and Liverpool, but
That's just Gary Neville just pushing it every chance he gets because
Josh, he
they play they
cares.
obviously they beat us. Yeah, they beat us. That's fine. But the two games they played before that against
It was
Southampton,
disgusting, wasn't it?
if Southampton didn't have, if they had someone who actually play football, not Shea Adams, it would
Yeah.
have been an absolute whitewash. It would have been fine. It would have been like the Brentford result all over again.
What
They were
happened with Brighton
absolutely
as well,
awful.
opening day of the season?
They were
Codswallop.
absolutely terrible. And
Yeah,
then
not
they get
yeah.
away with it. And obviously it gets brushed over straight away. Whereas any other club do that and win 1-0 and it's proper edgy and dodgy. Like it's
Yeah.
investigations into like, oh, how bad they're gonna get shown up when they come up against an actual team that can play football.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like our run until we played Man United, essentially, was everybody like Gary Neville and everything was like, yeah, they're gonna get found out. Whereas now, because we beat a team like Fulham, who are suddenly not looking like the Fulham that everybody thought they would be,
Yeah.
it's now turned out to be quite a good result, especially because we
Yeah.
were
Very
1-0
good.
down.
Yeah, particularly when they got something off Liverpool opening day of the
Yeah,
season,
yeah.
Fulham.
But that was all forgotten about when we played them a week after that. It was,
Yeah.
Arsenal should easily beat Fulham. Like it shouldn't even, like we shouldn't have even conceded to them.
Yeah. No, I know. But I think I don't want to say it just yet, but if I was you, I'd be thinking we've got a really good chance now, and you've got the quality and the depth a bit more to
I'd
play in the
like to
Europa
believe
League.
that like fully, but it's just like it just seems to be unfortunate. If anything, like Thomas Partey, for example, he has like a 53% rate of playing for the club since he signed, which is absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Considering it's never anything but injuries. It's not like Aubameyang who gets kicked out of the team for X, Y, and Z. It's
Mhm.
literally because of injuries. Like he cannot stay fit, and that hurts the team a lot in that position.
No, totally,
As
mate.
much as I like El Neni, he's again injured for months, and El Neni is not. He's not a brilliant player. He's not going to win you games. He's there. It look good when we win because he doesn't do anything. Like he passes it sideways. He's like Jorginho, basically, just a slightly less Jorginho.
Leave Jorginho out of this.
Yeah,
World
obviously,
class.
yeah, not gonna get there. It's touchy. And then obviously you got Lokonga, who again, if you're young and talented, and you play in any other position, I think apart from centre back and centre mid and CDM, that's kind of spine. You can get away with ducking a few games and having a poor game here and there because you're not the middle of the pitch basically. That's not where the possession will be.
Is he better than Guendouzi was?
I really like Guendouzi, and I think that'll be one similar to like KDB, similar to like Salah, similar to like that kind of level where Chelsea were stupid in hindsight to let them go and whatnot. I feel like that will be the case with Guendouzi, but we had a reason to get rid of him. It's because he was an absolute idiot off the pitch and on it in moments when the ball was out of play.
Yeah,
like that Brighton game and everything, where it just went mental when he had his hands around Maupay's neck and everything.
Yeah, Gnabry as well. Yeah. Can't believe it's just the thing is, you've got to think though, if he would have stayed at Arsenal,
that's the thing. Would he have got anywhere near to doing what he's doing now? Because when he went on loan to West Brom, and Tony Pulis was like, he is not a footballer, basically. Mm-hmm. And that was after we'd cut ties with him. So like that's more recent than when he played with us, basically.
Yeah.
Which is mental to think. Like, what does Tony Pulis think now when like turn it on and he's Bayern Munich's best player and he's like Germany's most influential and everything, and he's won a shitload of stuff.
He probably makes some little excuse.
He'll have a reason.
Underneath his Stoke City cap that he wears, even though he hasn't managed Stoke for like 10
on
years.
His head, yeah.
So quickly then, Josh, before we wrap up, I'm going to shout you out, even if you don't want me to.
Yeah,
my camera isn't working, people, because it's absolute codswallop. But Josh, head of Class of Vintage, really, really good clothing. Sure. I mean, you can't see my garms, but if this gets uploaded with it, I'm wearing a lovely Chanel Paris teal blue top. He's done me two Gucci ones actually.
Yeah.
And you've got some nice Burberry scarves that I might get for my mum for Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, Josh has obviously got its site, so that's Class of Vintage, KLASSE, and then Vintage, and is it top of the search engine, surely, Josh?
Yeah, it will be.
If you input that, yeah. And at the moment, what did you say the discount was, my friend?
25% off, end of season sale. No code needed.
There you go, guys. There you go. That's a package that will deliver meaningful results, unlike some of the others we've seen at the moment. But yeah, Josh, thank you ever so much for coming on, mate. Really good to see you.
Yeah, good chatting.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up again soon.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the end of season review.
Indeed, mate. And to all those who are listening, thank you very much for tuning in. Do follow us on Twitter and give the video a like and a share if you come across it. Cheers, guys. Take care.